Hi, welcome back to the Hicks Homestead YouTube channel. So right now I'm off the grid. So this is locked out here and it's going into my generator plug, which is right here. But instead of using a gasoline generator, we are using two Pecron E3600LFPs. So let's go inside and take a look at that. Right here in my garage, I've got them temporarily set up. Normally I've got this big generator to run everything. This will run my air conditioner. This, however, will not. So if you watched the previous video that I uploaded earlier today, I did get an answer from Pecron about the DC bonding cable, which is what this red and black cable is here. They were going to send me free of charge one of these cables that I'd have to take this apart and modify. The instructions they gave me said to cut the data pins, the wires going to the data pins on each side, and then I would basically just be using two 6-gauge cables to bond it. So the BMS in this one would not be confusing the BMS in that one and vice versa. So what that basically means is this battery pack and this battery pack are connected DC as one. So whichever battery pack is lower, the opposite battery pack will send power. Now right now I'm doing something a little different. I'm actually washing a second load of laundry and I'll be drying that, trying to get these down as low as I can to 0 today. So I'm running a lot of stuff. I ran my oven, I ran my stove, I ran my 50-gallon water heater, a lot of stuff. Not normally using this much power at the house. Like I said, it is not running my air conditioner, but right now it is currently running my air handler. So it's just circulating air, just using some extra power. That's why we're at a slightly higher rate. This is my first one that I got sent back to get it repaired. It had an inverter board failure. So you can see where the batteries are, which I like this feature on this original one that I ordered. It's not available, which I'll show you here in the second one. But you can see where my host battery is. We're at about 3.26 volts across the cells. They're all pretty consistent. And we're at 44% state of charge overall in this battery bank. So we're gonna go over here to this one. And when I go in here and I go into battery health, it shows a much different menu. So I can select the different power packs, but it won't tell me what the individual cell voltages are. So we're much lower here. So we're 32% on the host battery here. And on this one, it just tells me the cell voltage. It doesn't tell me what the host battery percent is on this. So in some ways I like this better, in other ways I like the other better. The app will show you what this is showing, which is the 32% on the host battery. So what that effectively means is this battery pack being higher than this battery pack, it's sending DC current into this battery pack. That's how the system works. And overall state of charge, I'm within about 2%. Before, it was wild. I was probably 12% out of alignment. So what that would mean, I'm gonna zoom out here. Yeah, I'm zoomed out. What that would mean is, let's say for instance, on this line, so we'll call this line 2 in my house. If this battery pack was depleted before this battery pack, the system would shut down. The whole system would shut down. Even though I have power in here, the system would shut down. What this does is this enables it to kind of sort of balance on its own, because it's flowing from the higher voltage pack to the lower voltage pack. And I have no way, unless I put a DC ammeter on here, to say what the current flow is going from battery to battery. But this is the first test doing it. I just got the email this morning, and everything seems to be working. I'm a lot closer in overall battery percentage than I have been before doing the DC bond. So it seems to be working. More to follow. So go ahead and give the video a like, a share, and please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel so I can afford to do more power station testing and potentially even buy another series of power stations. So I need your guys' support by sharing the video, giving it a like, and a subscribe. Thanks for watching.